Well, hello again, and thanks so much for joining me again today. Now, I've been cruising around the countryside here, having a fairly leisurely day because I had a really late night last night. And so I've just come up to this reserve here, which is the Lake Lonsdale Reserve, and the dam is over here just behind me. Anyway, I thought, well, I'll come and have a look. I've been here before, and just over the rise over that dam bank is an absolutely amazing sight. Come on, I'll show you. Now, every once in a while, when scouting locations for nightscape images, you stumble across somewhere that just takes your breath away. Well, I've just found that exact spot. Have a look behind me here. This whole lake has dropped the water level right down, and it's exposed all of these dead trees that have been in this lake for years. And it's literally a paddock full of dead trees, like a swamp. But it used to be the lake, and there's still some water there. So, what do? I've got to come back here and shoot this under the stars tonight. And it just so happens that the direction I'm at here, facing across there towards the east, is exactly the direction the Milky Way core is going to be rising up tonight. So, let's get down there and have a closer look, and I'll show you what we're going to do. So down at ground level here, you can see the compositions are endless here. There are literally hundreds of dead trees. But the thing I really like is the fact that there's some really big ones close to the edge. I can get right up to those trees. Now normally they'd be underwater up to about here. So there's a great opportunity here to shoot multiple compositions, all facing in the right direction. And no, there's no way now, and I'm not coming back here tonight. The only thing that's going to bother me is cloud cover. At the moment it's fantastic, but I've learnt my lesson over here. The clouds just come in when you're not expecting. I suppose it's because there's a mountain range over there. But anyway, I'm just going to have a bit of a scout around here, but I love this location, love the composition. Coming back here tonight for sure. So even if the clouds do decide to roll in, which is quite a possibility, what I might do is a time lapse. And because I like the axis of movement with the clouds in the sky, so you can get away with a time lapse sometimes where single shots don't look quite so good, just because the clouds move through the frame. So if I can do that, I will. But yeah, I've got to get back to my base camp back at Halls Gap and get my gear together, then get back out here. It's probably about 3:30 in the afternoon. So middle of winter, the sun won't be up for too much longer. So yep, I'm getting excited. I'll see you back here tonight. Okie doke, well, I've been home, had a quick bite to eat, and now I'm back out here on location with all of my gear. Now I'm going to set up the Nikon D750 here with the 14 to 24 f2.8. This is my pretty much go-to time-lapse setup. On top here I've got the time-lapse plus view. Now if you've never heard of that, it's a intervalometer that automatically ramps exposure from daytime to nighttime. So it does it automatically, and I'm going to set it up here before sunset. It's about 5 o'clock now. So it's going to be recording daylight exposures, then it's going to gradually ramp that exposure to nighttime, and we're going to see how that goes. Alright, well I've just set up the D750 here with the time-lapse plus view intervalometer on the top. It's shooting now. As you can see, it's still daylight. The sun is just setting over there in the western sky. Currently, it's shooting at 1/320th of a second, and it's taking one shot every 8 seconds. And it's going to just keep going through. It's going to take hundreds of shots. And gee, it's beautiful down here. It's calm. The water's like glass. It's just crystal clear. There's a bit of cloud in the sky, which isn't going to upset my time lapse so much. Later on when I take the single shots, maybe. But anyway, I'm just going to leave this baby shooting here, and then I'm going to go back and get myself organised for the single shots. Just have a look at these awesome reflections in the water here. Now, if it stays calm like it is at the moment, and that Milky Way core is coming up over there, this will be a fantastic composition, because that's exactly where I want to shoot. So I guess I'm hoping for the wind to stay down, and I'm hoping for the clouds to clear away later on. That's not too much to ask, is it? But doesn't it look great? Now, I'm not sure if you can see this little critter, but this is a native echidna, Australian wild animal. I'm not going to go too close because they've got very, very sharp spikes all over them. That's awesome. Just sitting here on the edge of the lake. Alright, so now I think what I'll do is I'll just kick back here and relax for a while. It's not dark. In fact, it's got a fair way to go, probably an hour or so before it's dark. So plenty of time to just sit here, smell the roses, enjoy this beautiful countryside here. It's just absolutely gorgeous. There's birds and animals everywhere. And I might just have a bit of a snack. Probably put the kettle on, boil a jug. All those things that we do whilst we're out here waiting for the stars to appear. See you later. Okay, now you may be able to see behind me up here, there's about a 35% crescent moon in the sky, and that's good tonight because what that's going to do is light up these trees and the water and the landscape enough so that I don't think I have to do any light painting at all, which makes my job a whole lot easier. And I think with that time lapse that's going on down there, that'll really increase the dynamics of that shot because you'll be able to see more of the landscape, and that always looks a lot better. Alright, so I've just shot my first sequence here for the night, and it looks absolutely amazing. I love, it's got that just that little bit of moonlight, a bit of glow in the sky, reflection in the water. There's not a breath of wind down here. So what I did, I'm using the Z6 with the 20mm f1.8 here, and I'm shooting at ISO 6400 at f2.8 at 15-second shutter speed. Now, a lot of people ask me, you've got an f1.8 lens, why don't you shoot it wide open at f1.8? If you're going to shoot at f2.8, why don't you just use a native f2.8 lens? Now, that's a pretty good question, but the response is simply this. This lens, and most lenses, will be sharper and just clearer and better image if you stop them down a little bit. Now, I could have a 20mm f2.8 lens. I've got one down there, a 14 to 24 f2.8, but I can tell you now, this lens at 20mm, stopped down from f1.8 to f2.8, is going to kill it. Much sharper, and it's a lighter lens, much easier to handle, doesn't have a focus ring to bump. There's a zoom ring to bump. There's a lot of advantages to doing that. And usually I can still, if I want to, I can shoot it at f1.0 or f2 or f2.2 and still get a brighter image. But this lens is awesome. Love it. So what I did here, I stacked 8 images, exactly the same shot, one after the other. And yeah, I'm wrapped with those. I by the way, I set my white balance to 5,000 Kelvin here. And a lot of people ask me about white balance and why I set it to certain temperatures. Usually I set it a little bit cooler than 5,000, but the reason I did that is because there's about a 35% moon, and what that does is makes the sky bluer, closer to daylight. And so therefore, I've put my white balance closer to daylight. Daylight's about 5,500 Kelvin. I've put it to 5,000. A lot of people would just set it to daylight, and that would be okay as well. So yeah, that's just another little detail. All right, well, I think that went so well tonight. I was so pleased with everything I did. I tried the 35mm lens as well as the 20mm lens, and I got a myriad of different compositions, quite a few panoramas. I did one with the 35mm lens up on the bank up there, quite a long way from these trees, and that was, I think, 28 shots that I'm going to stitch together, which was a big broad expanse of the whole lake. So yeah, I hope that one comes out. And the other one was on the Z6 with the 20mm f1.8, and I shot this tree and I shot a couple of trees down there. Some of them are stacked shots, some of them are panorama shots, and I love the look of these shots because just with that little bit of crescent moon, it's all we need as far as lighting, and they are fantastic. I love every single one of them. So the 608 frames I took in total, and I was having a fair bit of trouble with the lens fogging up just towards the last part. I kept having to come over and wipe the lens. I should have put a lens warmer on. In fact, my video camera was doing the same thing, so that's just what you get. We're in the middle of winter. I should have realised that. Everything's just a little bit wet at the moment, probably because I'm close to the water and there's not much breeze, which is a catch-22 because I want to have a calm water down there, but when I haven't got much breeze, that's what happens. So now looking at these images on the back of the screen, they are just fantastic. Really, really good. Love how they've come up. And yeah, they're just single images that you're looking at there, but there's 500 of them. Those clouds going through there look amazing. Fantastic. A little bit of smearing where the lens is fogged up, but I think I can cope with that. Yeah, and there's a couple there where the lens fogged up properly, but gee, that looks good. That's awesome. Well, that's about all I've got for you tonight here out under a beautiful moonlit sky. I don't shoot often with much moonlight, but tonight was just perfect for the setting and the situation here with these trees. And I think the foreground and the water and the lake and a bit of glow on the horizon, a little bit of light pollution. This is classified as a Bortle 2 sky for those who understand the Bortle scale. A Bortle 2 sky is pretty good, pretty dark. So I'm wrapped with all of the shots that I took here tonight. I feel exhilarated, physically tired. I've had a really big week, but I feel energized by just being out here under the stars. So thanks so much for watching. I so appreciate the fact that you take the time to watch my channel. And as always, I love to chat with you in the discussion down below. Comments, suggestions, always open to those. And look, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd love you to do that as well. And anyway, if you feel led to do so, thank you. And in the meantime, I'll be back soon with some more adventures out under the stars. So I look forward to catching up with you guys then. See you later.